way to keep a relationship healthy is learning how to safely resolve conflicts. Joining us now to discuss is podcaster and the author of Kickass husband, Matthew Hoffman. Welcome back to Bloom, Matthew. It's always great to see you.
Fun to be with you again, Gail. Thank you.
So from time to time, couples will see those flare-ups, those conflicts, but the name of the game is to try to minimize those.
You do, Gail. You know, anytime it's like getting hit in the face, right? Every time you get hit, it hurts, and if you do it too many times, you get a concussion. So you don't want to keep having the dust-ups and the arguments, and if it's happening a lot, it's a deeper indication that something's got to be taken care of.
So how do you handle conflicts at the onset?
You know, conflict, Gail, is an invitation to connection. People are afraid of it and they think it's not good, but it's good because it's going to draw you in and give you a chance to connect with your spouse, and it really depends what your motive is. And when you go into a conflict or the post-mortem after a conflict, it's not about being right. It's not about winning. It's really about seeking understanding. And you want to understand why that issue is so important to your spouse. And if you can find that understanding, it's going to help you have a connection.
Now, when you're in the heat of it, I mean, you say things that you can't take back. Are there phrases or words that you might be able to lean on that will help diffuse the situation?
Absolutely. Here's one thing you can say when there's a conflict or you're arguing over who's right or what's going to carry the day. You can simply look in your spouse and say, honey, you might be right. And by saying that one simple phrase, you're telling them you validate them, you're hearing them, and you're not discounting them and saying they're wrong or they don't have a way to think or feel the way they think or feel. And if they know, oh, they're maybe willing to accept influence, that lets the guard down, gets their cackles calm, and allows you to have a discussion about what's really going on under the surface.
So say you might be right instead of you might be right.
Honey, you might be right. You know what?
Right.
Or it could even be, you know what? Conversely, I might be wrong on this.
Okay.
You know, I may not have all the answers.
Okay. Any other words or phrases that we can use?
Well, you know, it's about tell me why this is so important to you, right?
Okay.
There's a term called what's the dream within the conflict. And what you really want to find out is what is going on that makes them so passionate about that. Help me understand why this is so important to you. It's not accusative, it's not finger pointing. You're saying, I need you to help me. Okay. And tell me what's going on here.
Now, why is reducing the times of conflict? You kind of use the analogy of taking hits, you know, in a sporting event, or, you know, you keep getting hit, you get a concussion. But it's really important to try to minimize how many times you're going up and erupting into conflict.
You know, you want to save your energy for the positive direction. And when you're spending all your energy repairing and going back and trying to correct a past mistake, all you're doing is taking something from the past and trying to make it okay. Think about your energy as a limited resource, right, in your day. You want to use that energy for connection, for love, support, for expressing gratitude, and making positive deposits. And when you're cleaning up a mess or coming back and trying to unbridle an argument, it's hard to go forward and spend energy on things that are going to make you stronger instead of looking in that rearview mirror.
Yeah, and so oftentimes couples will get stuck. Like, they'll get so stuck in the argument phase that it almost becomes like a habit, like a routine is something that they could do, and that seems like it would be so annoying to live life that way, but that pattern starts to stick.
Right, when someone says, oh, we argue all the time, that is a dangerous habit. And if that's what you're spending your energy on, what could you be spending your energy on that's going to be giving life and oxygen and strength and joy to the relationship, as opposed to repairing a mistake that was made by one or the other in a past argument?
Now, how can you always approach rising conflict with a positive attitude? I mean, you gave us some catchphrases to use, like, I might be wrong, or you might be right. Any other ways? You
know, what you want to do is make sure you're coming without an accusative tone. It's not about who's wrong or who's right, but it's really about understanding. Because if you think of it as not a competition of competitions are win-lose. You win, I lose, I win, you lose, and that's not acceptable. You want to have a win-win. Because if it's a win for the us in the relationship, everybody wins, right? So it's not about whose opinion carries the day, but you really want to focus on finding that understanding. How did we get here? Because, you know, if you know there's a landmine somewhere and you keep stepping in it, that's like the definition of insanity. So if you say, how can we keep ourselves from getting here again? What was it something? Well, when you said this, oh, there was a trigger. I said something that triggered you, or you said something that triggered me from my past. So if we understand what those triggers are, it allows us to have a nicer dance with each other and not have those landmines that blow up and turn into conflict.
And then easier in the future to find that common ground that you're looking for.
Exactly. And there may be, and the agreement may be, we disagree. Disagreement does not equal love. If you don't agree, it doesn't mean you don't love somebody. It means you choose to disagree, and you can do that when there's deep love present.
Matthew, as always, it's such a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Great to be here.